Alright, hope you are doing well today. Thank you so much for reminding me to comment on your proposal. I think I'll just begin from the cover page. The cover page, you've done well to put CFHS, 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 that is CFS Zambia. So you've not completed CFHS Zambia, then that is should be bigger than research writing skills training, because research writing skills training is the program of CFHS Zambia. So it should show which one is more important than the other. The same way you write when you are writing a university, you need to write bigger the name of the university, for example, Rockview University. Then other things like the department, other things that like School of Health Sciences should be smaller. So that's the same method that I'm trying to let you know about. Then when you come to a research proposal submitted to CFHS Zambia in partial fulfillment of requirement for the award of certificate in research writing. So you can't say submitted to research writing skills training. This is a program, it's not an institution. All right, that's just a simple thing on the cover page. So we go abstract. According to what I taught you, not what people have said on the media, but what I taught you, a proposal shouldn't have an abstract. Why? Because an abstract is the summary of the document, is the summary of the report. So in a proposal, just proposing, you have not found anything that should be reported. So no abstract in the proposal. Abbreviations are okay, they should be there. Then you'll find chapter 1, you've done well. The introduction is too small on chapter 1, and the introduction is not saying what should be written in the introduction. Usually when you come with it as an overview, you just introduce the chapter to say, in this chapter we'll talk about background, we'll talk about this. That is called an overview. Then after an overview, you begin the background of the study. So now you have the introduction, then you study overview. Study overview, there is background, research questions, there is objectives. You begin again, background of the study. It's not making sense in this matter. Then statement of the problem. Again, the background of the study here is very small. You begin as if it's a part of historical. Talk about what has been talked about other people before in this issue. What have they discovered already? Then what do you want to focus on? Which means it will at least quote a number of people. But for you, there isn't even any quote. According to research that is done by so and so in 20 so and so, he found out that this and this has happened. Maybe in this case you find that you quote some people, so but in yours there isn't even a citation. Statement of the study. When you come to the statement of the study, I didn't remember teaching statement of the study. I said statement of the problem, because there is a problem that you want to state in this. Who stated that there is a problem? Is it written in education, maybe by the Minister of Education, maybe by WHO, maybe by other authorities, organization? That's what you should say. According to WHO in 2020, it was stated that there is a problem in this and this way and this way. So that is how the statement of the problem should come out. Then objectives of the study, they should come out in the same way. But what I just don't like is that you've listed out the specific objectives. Again, you talked about broad objectives, again the specific objectives. Under the same objectives, just talk about a broad objective and specific objective under one without listing. So in short, the first list should be killed. Then you just remain with objectives, then you talk about broad objectives, then specific objectives under it. That's how it has to go. Maybe let me bring in something that will help me to paint what I'm trying to talk about. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to mean. Instead of writing this, remove them, then just remain with this and this. Just that will be enough. Okay. All right, so we continue. Then research questions, the number of research questions should match the specific objectives. So if you come back here, you find that you have 4 specific objectives. You have 4 specific objectives here, but when you come to the research questions, there are more than 6. They are more than 5. That is 6 specific objectives. So some of them should be killed. Like you remove what is not being something that you are not targeting, because objectives are setting the total target. So what are other things that you have asked, then you have not targeted it? That should be removed, so that you stick to your scope of the study, because the scope is very clear. So I like the way you've come up with a scope, limitations and delimitations, and you've stated the only thing you need in both of these, let me say in all these areas, it's citation. Need to cite everywhere here. Where did you get information from? Then definition of terms, it's okay. All right, then chapter 2, I said you go through that lecture where I talked about ways in which you can write chapter 2. An overview will say this provides a comprehensive examination of the relationship. You will say according to whether you follow according to the region, and by that we mean world view, local view, or maybe we say world view, regional view, or maybe sub-Saharan Africa perspective, then Zambian perspective, until to Kawambwa's perspective, if you want to narrow it down according to geographical area. Then if you mean according to the objectives, maybe you write down objectives. Not literature review, you just introduce it. From the introduction, you even go direct to theoretical framework. That's not how it goes. Then literature review shouldn't be in point form. Literature review can't be in point form. You are reviewing literature, you need to quote people, so it shouldn't be in point form. It should be in paragraph form. All these headings are okay, but just points. They are not. This is, and what you said here, books, what, it's not necessary here. These, they are not necessary. Here what we need there, we need citations, not this list of books. Then again, this is just showing me that you just gave artificial intelligence and it gave you things, you copied, you pasted in and submitted. There was no effort put here, no proof of your skill, and you know a lot, you've acquired a lot. So you just need to provide skill of what you've done. All these in chapter 3, you don't write chapter 3 in point form, so it can't be written in this format. And even in chapter 3, you need to cite where you've gotten this study design, study area, unit of analysis, things like this. You need to cite. Maybe at the end of each paragraph you put a citation, Kaputa 2024, things like that. I'm not saying you put yourself, but you put where you've gotten information from. Then this, I don't even know if you know how sample size determination was taken, because this formula is not it's not making sense. How do you have a sample of 500? Can you manage that 500 taking questionnaires and asking, if it means asking them questions, and you have said approach of that you are going to use, it's a mixed approach, which means you need to ask them questions and you need to give them questionnaires. 500 is too big, so find another simpler sample that you are going to put there. It's a sample is not just a number to make the project pass, not just a number to make just in case they ask you what is your sample, then you say it. You need to have the number that is going to the number that is going to be practically possible, because in case they give you money to say, okay, do this project, it can't work if you have a number that was imaginary. Then this project should end on study concentrates. Then study concentrates, that's where it should end. Coming down, this work schedule, work plan should come into appendices. Here, after study concentrate, you can even put a summary if you want. This is the summary of chapter 3. That's where chapter 3 should end. This is the summary of chapter 3. We talked about population, and everything that you talked about in chapter 3 should come there. Then after that, you can now begin to talk about appendices, or maybe let me say, from here you can put references. After here, coming down, put references. After references, now that's when you can begin your appendices. Your appendices is going to start with maybe your work plan. After the work plan, you can even put the budget. Then after that, after the budget, you can even put the questionnaire that you intend to use. So your appendices will be appendix A, appendix B. Then on the questionnaires, questions should be arranged. Let your variables that you are expecting be defined. Define your variables. If you say family size, have suggestions for questions. In short, have closed-ended questions, because if you say family size, you are going to have scattered that. This one will say big, this one will say small, but the big, small, and the bigger, it is not defined. Occupation, have some suggestions in everywhere, so that the information you receive will be organized. It will not be hard for you to make use of that information. Unless where you need the no and yes. Do your home access health care at home? Do you have access to health care at home? Then yes or no. Just that is enough. Then where you feel this one will have more than one answer, or answers may be scattered, have some organized suggestions that will assist you to collect data in an organized way. So, and where you need to have multiple choice, as if it's an exam A, B, C, and D, make sure that it is organized in multiple choice way, so that it doesn't take you long. Then the consent form and the letter that you need. If there is need for the letter to the head teacher, make sure that you write an introductory letter. Then it's okay to put references under the appendices, or it's okay to begin with references or to end with references. I have no problem with the references, but the other thing is that the references are just too small for the project of chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. The references are small. A few, you need to have at least 20 references or 30 references. That's just my recommendation, to show that at least you read these books. So from that point, I'm expecting that this can be able to assist you.